guys can stop reeling. Take your phones out of your pocket. You're gonna have to walk out there with me. It's stuck on the bar. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get wet, but we got a giant tiger.
Let me go back to the beginning and explain why I'm 75 yards out from the beach, wrangling a massive tiger shark that is bottomed out on the first sandbar. This is not a normal situation, and I've only found myself in this situation one other time. As I'm walking farther and farther from the beach, in the back of my head, I'm thinking deja vu. Something just isn't right. I keep walking, and you're limited to what you can bring with you. All I have is my tail rope in my hand. On the beach, when I'm looking, I got a spotlight. But you don't want to bring too much because you got to remember you're going to need to use both hands to grab the shark. So all I have is my tail rope, and I keep walking. And I keep walking. My headlamp is only so strong, I can only see so far. And I come up to a ridge, and I start walking up an incline, which is the first sandbar. I look back and I realize how far I am from the beach. And I immediately think, deja vu, to what I experienced 2 years ago, where I put myself in an extremely dangerous situation. If you listen closely, you can hear my client from the beach as I'm dragging this bull shark go. He's an idiot. No way would I do that. When you hear that, you know you're pushing yourself to the limits. This situation was so similar to the tiger that I'm dealing with in this video. Except in this case, I walked out to the first sandbar, tail roped the bull shark, and I brought the bull shark all the way up to the beach. I risked getting bit for my client's picture. The scariest part about this was in chest deep water. I took my waders off because I knew walking back out backwards that my waders would fill up with water.
I'm gonna take my waders off. This is gonna be really dangerous for me. This is so dangerous right now.
So I'm walking backwards with the shark to release it. It's not hooked. I'm in chest deep water, walking backwards, and then walking up an incline where I fall to get on the first sandbar to turn around and release it. I was really lucky in this situation that nothing bad happened, but I promised myself that I would never put myself in this situation ever again. On Pensacola Beach, we have two sandbars that run parallel to one another. You can tell where the first and the second one is based on the color differential. The sandbars are a white color, and it's darker in between them and farther out past the second sandbar. These sandbars will run parallel to each other as long as there's no rip currents, hurricanes, or tropical storms that affect us. But when we have hurricanes and weeks filled with rip currents, the entire sandbar structure and Pensacola Beach will change dramatically. This is the reason why I'm in the situation I am with the tiger shark, and it was from 2 years ago with the bull shark. We've had rip currents all summer long, and when you have rip currents, it changes the sandbar structure. It cuts channels into the sandbars, and it elevates different points of the sandbars that wouldn't have normally been as high before. And this really matters during the tides. On high tide, you won't notice the sandbars being exposed, but on low tide, they'll be visible. This right here is a great example. This is not the sandbar I'm dealing with because this is only about 10 feet from the beach, but you can see how it's completely exposed. And where the waves are going back towards the Gulf, that's a rip current. Along with the sandbars being a factor with this charter, the other key variable was the size of the shark that we were handling. This was one of the heaviest tiger sharks I'd ever seen, and it bottomed out because of the amount of water on top of the sandbar. But the size of this shark added to us having to go 75 yards out to dehook it and release it. Now that you're caught up on the scenario of why I'm 75 yards out and having to handle this shark in a different way than I would on any other charter, let me take you back to the beginning of the video, where my clients Casey and Jared are hooked up with their first shark of the night.
Have fun. All you gotta do is reel.
If you didn't hear Jared, he said, just like catfishing, eh, Casey? It's funny to me how many clients show up to my shark setup and the first thing they say, this is just like catfishing. I've never been catfishing. I don't know how catfishing works, but I guarantee you it is nothing like shark fishing. Because every single time my clients are struggling reeling in a shark, where they previously said this is just like catfishing.
Catfishing now?
No, it's not.
Everyone always says it's just like catfishing until you get one on.
Normally comes back to bite them in the you know what.
Real Casey.
I'm trying.
Don't be
At first I didn't think it was that big, but then he just started pulling out of nowhere, so I don't know. Maybe 7 foot?
I'm normally spot on with my predictions, but this goes down as my worst guess yet. 7 foot? Not even close.
So Jared, you see how I'm guiding this line back and forth like this? When the shark gets closer to us, I'm gonna go out in the water and grab him. And if you can do that for me, or vice versa, Casey, you can guide the line. Just because otherwise it'll all get bunched up in one spot.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh boy. Oh. What we got? Okay, he's bigger than 7 foot.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't stopping. Look at that.
Yeah, I noticed. You just kind of got him.
I'm just guiding it back and forth. You don't have to do it now, but like when I go out there to get it. So you guys are gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna go out there. It's a big boy. Keep doing your thing. You're gonna have to walk out there with me. It's stuck on the bar. I'm sorry you're gonna have to get wet, but we got a giant tiger.
Had Casey and Jared chose not to come out with me, I would have gone back out on my own, dehooked the shark, and released it on my own. They decided to come with me. They were able to see it firsthand, and it was a perfect scenario.
You guys are good, I promise. Do me a favor and hold this. One of the biggest tigers I've seen in a while. You hold this for me. Got it? Okay, I'm gonna get this thing out here. That's a freaking giant. Holy moly.
This is potentially one of the craziest things I've seen on a charter. The voice you hear is my neighbor Christy, and I'm trying to process in my head if I'm actually hearing that or not. When I'm handling a giant shark, my adrenaline is pumping, and the only thing I'm thinking about is my client's safety, my own safety, the shark's safety. So whenever I run a charter behind my house, and I know I've got a giant shark on, I'll send my neighbors Christy and Jason a text message saying shark on.
What are you doing? Yeah, I do.
I had completely forgot about this up until this point.
Holy.
And the last thing I was ever expecting during this charter was that Christy was going to wait out 75 yards to take a picture for us. Me personally, I've got a ton of adrenaline. Didn't even faze me that I walked out that far. But someone that doesn't have adrenaline and has no idea the scenario would wait out there is by far the coolest thing that happened from this charter. I cannot believe she did that. Thank you to One Stop Custom Tackle for providing gear for this video. You can check them out in their Big John Shark Rig in the description below. If you're interested in booking a shark charter with me, I have my website and all my social media links also in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.